Hello, and welcome back to the Keeping It Real Estate podcast with Chris and Jen Bober. Of course, we are realtors here at Team Bober, Nebraska Realty, and we love to do these podcasts. We like to bring information to you, and so you know what's going on. Our mission is to educate and empower people to make great real estate decisions. And thanks for joining us. You joined us last time. I'm my better half.
I'm back.
Jen, the ratings were so good. We had such good reviews. She thought, like, oh my gosh, how did I do? And I'm like, people loved you, right? and they love working with us because of you, obviously, and us together as a team. So the more we do together, the more it truly represents what Team Bober does. Just a quick reminder, if you're watching this video, like on YouTube, click the little subscribe button down there. The more subscribers we get, the more our message gets out there. Click the notification bell as well. And if you're watching this on any other social media device out there, just like, reshare, retweet, comment, send us questions. The more our message gets out there, the more powerful it becomes and the more we can help people out. Also, if you are listening to this podcast, be sure to subscribe to the Keeping It Real Estate podcast so that you get notified every time we do new episodes. Okay, so to recap the last episode we had, and that's, of course, what's leading to this one, is we talked about the shift in the market that's happened. And more specifically, we talked how it affects us out there in the field, right? Down the trenches, working with clients, helping them buy and sell real estate. And what we talked about last week was the listings there's more listings on the market now, but there's less pendings and there's less sales overall. So what we equate that to is a shift in our market.
Yeah,
and we've seen that happen. Yeah. And we're feeling that out there. I know the consumers, the customers, and clients are feeling it out there too. But, the three things that we talked about, and these are kind of the three areas of concern or need for our clients. We talked about affordability, speed of the market, and the financing challenges that are out there. So affordability is really your security, right? The American dream of home ownership, it's getting harder. So that's a concern for people. The speed, because time is such an important aspect of people's lives. You want to understand how fast things are going to go or not. And then, of course, the financing, the money. So your security, your time, and your money are things we addressed, and we talked about how we're seeing changes out there.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, what we're going to do here today is talk about what we're doing as a team, as professionals, as realtors, to get ahead of this shift in the marketplace, right? We have definitely seen it change.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's changed a lot. So this is kind of the new and improved Team Bober as we launch into 2023. We're going to still provide, obviously, the same great service. We're just really implementing new ways of doing it better. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today and some of the things that we're going to do. And we're going to roll those out over the next few episodes of exactly how we're doing it. But today we're going to kind of allude to them. Right? You see kind of a need for change?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of nice because it makes it a little bit exciting, keeps you on your toes a little bit. But it becomes really important to then look really down into the weeds on our processes and different things we're doing and making sure we're always staying on top of it and tweaking it and changing it and just trying to be the best that we can be.
Yeah, and we're just not going to continue to do what's worked in the past, knowing that there's changes happening and changes coming. So
don't fear change.
Yeah, we don't fear change. This is not status quo. We're trying to continually provide better service to our clients.
Yeah.
So in order to kind of help understand who we are and what we do, we've kind of come up with kind of our mission. You know what I mean? Just to define for people out there what it is you get when you hire Team Bober. So the mission we came up with is we want to build relationships by providing excellent service to exceed our clients' expectations, right? And the first aspect of that is relationships.
Yeah, that's the most important part.
And I know we talked about in the last podcast, something that maybe sets us apart is how, all of our business is done by referral. Meaning the people that we work with have come to us through people that we've worked with in the past, friends and family, trusted vendors. And the relationship aspect of it is so important.
Right.
Like we're not really out there to make a deal or make a sale. We're not transactional.
I think we earn it, and we take a lot of effort and energy into earning it and doing a great job so that we can be referred. It's a very proactive way of approaching it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we have a specific way of how we work to develop relationships. And from those, of course, when you build trust and competency with people and they like you, then you're the person they call with their real estate needs. That's how our business works.
Right. Absolutely.
So that the relationships are the primary factor in our our business. Of course, providing excellent service. And this is something that, I think maybe today it's kind of watered down. Because customer satisfaction is just average. We want to provide excellent service, go way above and beyond that. And, that's one of the reasons why we're tweaking what we do. We're updating it so that our service is on par or better with what's happening out in the marketplace.
Right. And I mean, I think the thing is that just both of us doing this every day of the week, a lot of times 7 days a week, full time, that's part of how I think we can provide that. And I always say, I'm very lucky that if for some reason I can't meet a client's needs right away, they've got Chris and vice versa, and so we're hoping that we never are seeing a client not satisfied with their communication and their service.
Yeah, we like to exceed our clients' expectations, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we kind of like under-promise what we can do because we don't want to be boisterous and say, we're going to get you this price or we're going to guarantee this. We want to help facilitate transactions and provide advice so that they can make great decisions.
Right, 100%.
So now to take that a step further, we have our mission of that's kind of, what we do. But let's talk a little bit about how we do it. These are kind of our founding principles of what we do. And there's three of them here that it's kind of the what, the who, and the why. So we like to, number one, educate and empower our clients to make great decisions.
Right.
And that comes from a spirit of service to people. I always talk about with clients and with anyone who will listen, really, to say that, we're not the quarterbacks of this, right?
Right.
And, most people know that I play football.
Good old football reference.
Yeah, you got to go use the football reference. But, I played football for 19 seasons, and I was never the quarterback. I was never the guy with the ball, but I was the blocker. I was like the center, right? I hiked the ball to the quarterback, and I protected them, and then when they wanted to get to the end zone, I cleared a path. And that's what we do. We're not here to guarantee things. We're not here to sell things, honestly. We just really help facilitate.
Right.
Because we're not selling that home or helping people buy that home. We're not the ones actually transacting the business.
Right.
We're here to advise them.
Right, and give them all the tools they need to make that educated decision. It's a big decision, and more here as sort of educator, counselor type thing.
Yeah, so really that's what we do. We educate and empower you as clients to make decisions and advise you on that. But kind of who we are is we love to say that we provide authentic hospitality.
Yeah.
Right? And we thought about this for a while, but really it comes down to being genuine, honest, and transparent.
Yeah, and the word authentic is I appreciate that because I'm not going to necessarily tell clients what they want to hear. I'm going to be honest with them and really, as we're clearing that path for them to go down, really being honest about what could be in it, in all ways, good, bad, ugly, and that we're doing this every single day for over 20 some years. We certainly have not seen it all, and we won't because it's always evolving and changing, but we've seen enough where we can kind of share and those experiences and just, be really true and honest about it.
Yeah, and what you see from us, that's exactly who we are.
Yeah.
But we also do it in an hospitable way.
Right. Yeah.
And that's really where we cater our services and the needs of our clients, right? Not everyone needs the same thing every single time. And our job really is to find out what our clients need and then to provide that for them. Some people want information every single minute of the day. Some people say, just tell me when this happens or that happens.
Yeah, hospitality is really making people feel comfortable where they're at and what they're doing, and that comfort level is different for everybody. And so when I was a newer agent, I would get, it was experience to learn how to walk into every different situation and understand how that particular client, needed, what their needs were, how to meet them, how to make them feel comfortable in the situation, because each one has their own story and they're bringing their own fears and expectations to the table. And so trying to meet those. And sometimes a lot of times you're sitting down with a couple and those two things can be very different based off that couple. And so really trying to speak to both of them and make them feel like they're empowered and comfortable.
And the great thing is, if you guys don't know this that are listening and are watching this, is that's Jen's talent. Her charism is hospitality. So she's such a great addition. Just a part of what we do here is, her hospitality is something that is way beyond what I can do.
Yeah.
So that's another thing you get from Team Bulber. You get the numbers and the analytics, and you get the hospitality on the side. as well. And then, that's kind of who we are. And then kind of why we do what we do is we provide client first representation, right? So we're here to put the client's needs above our own, above the transaction, above the other side. We're here to serve, it's like a servant leadership kind of deal.
Yeah.
And that is something that we truly believe in. And a lot of times it doesn't benefit us. Like there's times when we've had to tell people that this isn't a good situation and you need to walk away. And it's hard to tell people sometimes things they don't want to hear, but we're putting our clients first.
Well, and even if it's to, not our demise, that's such a dramatic word, but there's been a lot of times where we definitely have to take a back seat for what's best for the client, but that's the right thing. That's what you have to do. And I think that that's something that people should pay attention to when they're looking for an agent and things like that. And there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes where Chris and I are really putting our needs way below the client and even other people involved. And we don't need people to know that. But it certainly is happening, and we can always privately share stories if people are interested about how we've done that. But,
but that's
it's not really here to talk about like what we've done, but we're not afraid to because we know that's what's important.
Yeah. So, now that we've kind of talked about and we have helped people out there understand kind of who we are and how we do things and what we do, let's talk a little bit about how we're tweaking our systems for this shifting market.
Yeah.
Right. And there's several, the way that we work, and this comes from the analytical side in me, is that we have a system for everything that we do, right? When someone wants to sell a house, we have a laid out system with checklists and reminders and all these things so that we remember every time to provide the same high level of service to every single person out there. So some of the things that we're going to be updating is, first and foremost, is our listing system.
Yeah.
And would you agree that, from a year ago to today, the process of listing and marketing and selling a house has changed?
Yeah, I would. I think there's a few more steps involved, or I think I found maybe the hard way that there are a few more steps that need to be added. And so literally, I think every week we're learning and tweaking to do better for the next one and the next one,
Yep. And, when it comes to listing systems and what we're going to be changing is we're going to be looking at updating how we price property. Yeah. Probably the number one thing when it comes to selling a home or any kind of real estate is to price it correctly. And that's on my side of it, where I do most of it. But I've had to study really hard to understand the market and how pricing has changed, right? You just can't go out and say, well, my neighbor's house sold for $300, so I'm going to get $325.
Yeah.
You have to dive deeper into that and understand the factors of why that house sold or what type of amenities it has, the age of things, the risk reward versus different aspects of the property.
What the market's doing at any given time, that changes so fast too.
Yes, I mean, just in the last month or two, it's changed.
Yeah.
Right. So we always are staying on top of that. We're also going to are adding new elements to our marketing. Right. And again, this is something that I do a lot of, but there's different ways to reach the market, to reach the buyers out there, different digital formats, videos, things like that. And just how you say things, how you place them is a big deal.
I don't think people understand how much time goes into the marketing of a home. I mean, it's hours Chris will spend for each client doing things. And I'm grateful because he does that for our team. He's more of the expert in that, but it's constant. That's constantly changing. And if there's a new way to get that information out, I mean, we feel an obligation to our clients to use it and get that out there. And so it is always changing.
And ultimately, it comes down to when these changes happen, we are also in a different negotiating position, right? Where before, as a listing agent, up until maybe May or June of this year, whatever you put out there, people were going to buy, and they were going to bid on it, and it was going to be competitive. And now the negotiation has entered into it again. So we're continually working on how we negotiate for our clients and represent them to get their best interest, because you can't just say, well, if you don't want it, I'll sell it to the 5 other people in line. It comes down to usually one agent and another agent negotiating for their clients. And we're working on updating those things too. Yep. So the listing system's a really big one. And again, these systems we're going to roll out specifically and talk more in depth on them in future videos and podcasts too. The next one is our VIP buyer program. Now, this is a program that we kind of instilled for people that would commit to us as their buyer's agents. So, they give 100% to us and we'll give 100% to them. And the process has changed a little bit when it comes to buying a home,
Yeah.
right? Inspections are back.
Yep.
There's a little bit more leverage on the buyer side to maybe get some closing costs paid. Financing's definitely a challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Understanding that,
That's
we
completely
talked
changed.
about
We
that.
talked about that last week.
And then how people search for and find properties is changing all the time too. So
Yeah.
our buyer program is something, and Jen does so much with our buyers.
Yeah. I think it's really important to have a strategy and a plan, because it can get real chaotic if you don't. And so, I think it's as a favor to the buyer client that, we really sit down and have an initial meeting before we do anything. And again, understanding the goals and what's important to that buyer is necessary. And we definitely have a system, and anybody that's worked with us knows that. And I think in the end, when it's all said and done, they've always been really nice to give us positive feedback on appreciating that we had a system and it wasn't just a circus free for all.
Yeah, and we're not just relying on experience. We actually document these things and track them.
Yeah.
So that's another one, our buyer program. Another program that we've done a lot of, but we're really adding it as a benefit, is our estate and family transition services.
Yeah, that is a unique situation, and yeah, I've actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We've had quite a few of these lately where it's an estate, someone's passed, it's family members now needing to deal with the situation, and I think that just the level of care that we just have for people really plays out in these situations a little bit more.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of emotion and feelings and uncertainty, because now they've got all this estate to handle and coming in and just guiding them. Chris has got a lot of great resources that he hooks people up with and things like that.
Yeah, it comes down to really kind of just having a basic understanding of the probate and trust process, which is where we bring on really good attorneys to help us out. There's also the family dynamics. Right?
Yeah.
When there's 5 brothers and sisters and they all have a different opinion of what the property should sell for and who gets what, it's a minefield sometimes we have to step through. But we have to do that with care,
right?
Because they're going through something
Patience.
hard a lot of times. So that's a big deal. And then helping communicate with them, right? To communicate with several siblings at the same time and several decision makers takes a lot of skill.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time and effort too.
Yeah. Yep.
So those that estate and family transition services is something that we've done for a long time, but now we're creating a specific system for it so we can manage it more effectively.
Yeah.
Obviously we do help people with new construction. There's a lot of opportunities out there for new construction, probably more than we've seen in a while. Builders are more likely to give credits and buy down some of your loan, to take it all the way from the dirt stage until they get their keys in the new house. It's a long process, and there's a lot of steps. So we help manage that as well.
Yep.
That's definitely a system we'll continue to stay on top of. A couple other systems that are coming up. Nebraska Realty has launched a land division.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
exciting.
pretty much is me.
Yes, Chris is your expert on that for sure.
Yeah, so my first 4 years in real estate, I sold at an auction, recreational ground, farmland, big estates on property, lakes, all kinds of stuff in the land market. So I have a good amount of experience, and Nebraska Realty started a land division this year, and I helped them start that, and one of the people that are heading that up. But it's got so many different resources. It's a different market than selling houses.
Yeah.
So we got some great resources for all that. I'm gonna be talking more about that because it's something that I have a lot of experience in. Of course,
Let's be honest, you're passionate about it too.
I love it. If I can sell
his
land, I
favorite.
just sell land. If I can auction it. We're also coming up with a new auction system.
Yeah.
Right. We have a big partnership where we're really close to announcing about having some online auction opportunities of just stuff that I've done. But now the company's invested in it, so it's going to be such a great resource there.
That'll be fun.
But we help people with all aspects of real estate, and going into 2023, we want to have these systems in place so that when the opportunity comes for our clients out there, for people that are watching this or listening to it, you can feel confident that we're prepared for it. That we're not just going to do what we did and it's always worked. We're always looking ahead. It's not status quo here.
No.
We are constantly looking to improve what we do.
We're
and that's because we care about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're excited to evolve. There's a level of excitement to that, and being in the industry and knowing that happens and it's a necessary thing. I think helps build value.
Absolutely, and we just want you guys to know that we're on top of it. We're here for you out there. We do have some future videos coming up. We're going to be talking about how our business is affected by referrals.
Yep.
The relationship part of our business. We're going to talk about that. We're going to, of course, then roll out our listing system, our VIP buyer system. our estate and family transition services. So look forward to the podcasts and videos coming ahead, which will detail those a little bit more specifically. Also talk about the land division, auctions, investments, stuff like that. So, as we wrap up here, I guess our main takeaway here is that we are constantly looking to get better, right? And that's a sports background to me. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. So we just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
2022 is going to go down as our best year yet.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride, and we appreciate it.
And we've served so many clients this year, helping them buy and sell and things like that. And it's really paid off for us just as we care so much about what happens to them. And that's really starting to build our business. So thank you for your business. Thank you for your referrals. And we look forward to serving you guys better. To wrap up, just as a reminder, and I'll say this again, if you're watching this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, I know I say that a lot, but the more numbers I can get, the more reach I'll have. We'll have. I got to get used to that here. We'll have out there to provide so much great information out there. Of course, if you're listening to this on a podcast, subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, if you want to see us highlight something, if you just, hey, why does this happen, or how would I do this? Just see us on social media. @Team Bober is our handle on all of our social media devices. And you can reach out to us whenever you want. And of course, included with this video, wherever you're seeing it, there's going to be a link to our website and to all of our social media. So we are accessible to you guys out there. So once again, thank you for my beautiful wife and the better half of Team Bober joining us over here. We look forward to closing out a very successful 2022 and then launching into what we expect to be an even better 2023.
Yep.
So thank you so much for joining us today. Again, subscribe to our stuff, and we will see you next time.